Hello, everybody. I hope you're doing well. My name is Tyler Ellison. I'm going to be delivering to you all a Ryok channeling. So sit back and relax. I'm going to bring him through now. It is our species' highest joy and passion to be able to interact with all of you through this particular channel. We will begin today's transmission with the following idea. Right now, your species is receiving an invitation, a very particular type of invitation that is represented by the different crafts that you are all observing in your skies, that you have seen footage of in your media outlets. And the idea being that right now, as you are all approaching the window of contact, craft sightings are becoming more common for all of you in a more global sense. And more individuals are now becoming aware of the extraterrestrial presence that is ever present and that has been a part of your species' history for eons, although before this point the presence has been more occult, it has been more subtle. But now, because your veils are thinning, your species is becoming more aware of the presence of our kind and other beings like us, as a side effect of you all becoming more aware of the subtle dimensions within yourselves. For understand, we are reflecting back to you the idea of energies, of frequencies that resonate with what you would call the energy of the higher self. And because your species is moving in a direction that represents merging with the individual and collective higher self of your people, you are now resonating more greatly with the energy of different extraterrestrial beings. Thus, their crafts are becoming now visible to all of you. Now, these crafts exist in a higher frequency state. They're not quite physical, although to many of you they appear to be quite physical, and this is the result of energy densification processes. In other words, these craft, which exist on higher frequency levels of reality, will densify themselves sufficiently so they then are more perceivable to all of you physically and to your technologies. Although, understand, at any point that they so choose, the occupants of the craft can then de-densify their energy, thus making the craft and the beings aboard imperceivable to all of you in a physical way and to your technologies. And this is one of the reasons why craft can appear to blip in and blip out. It's simply a matter of subtle energy densification and de-densification. Now, back to the idea of the invitation. Understand that many of you have experimented and explored with the practice, the art you call astral projection. The idea of imagining that you are out of your body and that you walk into a new world, a new place. In some traditions, this is known as shamanic journeying. And there are many terms to describe it, but the idea is using your imagination. You can experience a point of view that represents more of a spirit point of view, thus enabling you to transcend what you would call the boundaries of the physical body, so you can begin to more easily perceive some of these other subtle dimensions. Right now, for those of you whom are excited to, you can begin to astral project into the different types of crafts that you have video footage of, or the types of crafts that you yourself have seen personally. And remember, these can be crafts that are dream crafts. What we mean by this is if you have been on a craft in your dreams, you can do the exercise to assist you in connecting with that particular dream craft and the occupants of that craft. So you don't have to necessarily have a physical craft to work with. You can work with crafts you've explored while in the dream state. That's all right. The idea being to allow for yourself to get very relaxed, relaxing the physical body, spending about 5 minutes body scanning, breathing, really letting your sense of self dissolve, and then imagining in front of you that you are out of the body. The idea being then to imagine that you can open a magical portal in front of you that enables you to shift to whatever frequency of reality you prefer. The idea being to program that portal, again, just visualizing it, breathing into it, giving it life through your intention, with the ideas of communing with a specific craft that you have observed, either directly or indirectly, and then simply move through the portal and begin to interact with the craft, enter into the craft, and begin to interact with the different beings aboard the craft. And you'll find many different facets of information will come through. Many different types of realizations can be had. For understand, this represents a portal of possibility. For right now, different hybrids and different extraterrestrials are extending this invitation by making their presence known through the craft appearances. And now they are all observing you to see what all of you do with this information, to see what all of you do with the increased awareness of extraterrestrial presence. And this particular exercise, of course, if it resonates with you, can act as a bridge that can enable you to accelerate your species' process of global contact. Should you begin to practice this particular exercise regularly, in a way that's balanced for you, you will find that more craft will appear in your media, more craft and extraterrestrial ideas will appear in your species' collective consciousness, and that represents, again, the idea of you shifting timelines, realities, in a way that aligns with accelerated extraterrestrial contact. Now, of course, astral projection in this manner is not the only way to accelerate contact. There's many different ways. We're simply sharing this particular tool with you all because we understand many of you have been developing this particular skill or are excited to develop this particular skill that you call astral projection or shamanic journeying. The idea being, if you wish, you can take that skill you have honed or that you are excited to hone and you can begin to direct it into this particular direction, and it can enable you to really accelerate the process of contact, because as we have said, once you move past the year 2023, open contact and how it unfolds will really be in the hands of your species. We will get as close as we can possibly get to all of you, and then we will simply open our arms, allowing for all of you to have an opportunity to do the same. And that can then allow for a very conscious bridge to be built, so we can both together walk across this bridge. And this particular exercise, as well as other exercises like what you call CE5 meditations, represent your species opening up its arms to our kind and to others like us. At a certain point, you'll find, should you become very proficient with the exercise, particular beings may become common in your journeys. You may see the same type of extraterrestrial being again and again and again. You may find you receive names. You may find you receive very clear visual symbols and detail. And this represents what you would consider to be one of your guides, and this guide is likely one of your many counterparts that shares an oversoul with you. Eventually, as you continue your interactions with this particular guide, potential counterpart, you will find you will become like that being over time. You will still be the unique individual that you are, the unique soul that you are. However, you will find some of those qualities that we, as extraterrestrial beings, represent to all of you that are quite positive, will begin to blossom and develop within you. You will take on some of those qualities. or rather, you will develop, awaken those ever-present qualities within yourself that you see reflected back to you through your interactions with us. At a certain point, you will begin to experience what you might consider to be the higher self-awareness, the higher self-connection, because that's our primary role. Our primary function, again, is to assist you all in really accessing that higher self level of consciousness in a personal way and then ultimately in a collective way. So you will also, through this exercise over time, of course, if it resonates with you, develop a strong connection and awareness of the higher self. And remember, you can always tell if you are interacting with the higher self or a being that is on a similar frequency by paying attention to the quality of the energy and the quality of the being. For remember, a being that is aligned with the higher self will ultimately share with you positive, empowering, expansive information. So, let that be your barometer. Use your psychic senses to perceive the qualities of the energies connected to the beings you interact with and the information that you receive. If the information and the beings are expansive and empowering, understand that this is a direction that's connected to your heart. You can trust it. You can move with it. If you find that these things are not really resonant with love and empowerment, then understand that perhaps is not your direction, and you can, if you wish, put it down. You don't have to walk down that path. You have free will. You can choose whatever path you prefer. So we encourage you all, walk the path of your heart, because that is the path that will reflect back to you all of your power, your abundance, and your preference. You will shift gradually over time to versions of Earth that are more and more and more representative of that. So have fun and explore as we explore. Open-hearted and allowing, excited and curious. For every day, every moment, every minute, every second is an adventure. We thank you all for your attention in this transmission, and as always, our species, unconditional love, joy, and appreciation to each and every single one of you. Alright, everybody. Hope you enjoyed this video. Unconditional love and gratitude to all of you. Have a beautiful, exciting day.